What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So you just bought an E46 M3. So now what? What are the next steps that you want to do? What are the things that you want to check? And how much you possibly gonna spend? So let's go over and I'll show you guys. Okay, so first things first, you want to lift the car up halfway. This way you can take a good look at the brakes, rotors, pads. This one got a little bit of a lip here on the rotors. The pads are okay-ish. Trying to show you guys, but it's kind of hard. But yeah, the pads are okay-ish. They're about like 5 to 6 millimeters, looking based on my experience. And then since you're over here halfway, you look at your struts. They do have signs that they are weak, right? They're compressing too much. They're too easy to go down. The way I know, it's because the bump stop is all messed up. So you can see the bump stop is messed up. The dust boot is torn. So it's gonna need struts on the front. But they are stock, which is good. The car was not, messed with, which is a good thing. This car only has 80,000 miles. So I suggested to the customer to put coilovers in it since he's gonna need struts, and it's probably around the same price. And I'd rather do coilovers. It handles a lot better. There's adjustability, and it's just better all around. Same thing on the rear. You take a look at the rotors, pads, everything, check. Shocks are blown. Shocks are blown. So now that you looked all around, you want to lift up the car all the way and check underneath. Alright guys, so here underneath the car, one thing that do go bad a lot on the E46 M3s is the lower control arms. This one is in good condition. We checked for play. You grab on the wheel, you shake it back and forth. Same thing with the tie rods. Sometimes they seize up. This car actually has a play inside the steering rack because there's no play here at the tie rod end or the inner tie rod. So the play comes from inside the steering rack on the other side, which is causing a vibration. So you want to check, you can check with a pry bar, check your ball joints, this one, that one, check your thrust arm bushings, which on this case, this ones are bad, and then you want to check for leaks, right? These cars, they're notorious for leaking on the oil pan gasket. This one, for example, is leaking, and since it's very low mileage, 80,000 miles, customer do want to get the rod bearings done. Rod bearings, they do fail a lot on this car due to the heavyweight oil that they use. So you want to get that done. Make sure your rod bearings are good. Make sure you put a good coating, coated bearings and stronger ARP bolts. It's very critical with these engines. And if you have an E46 M3, make sure you warm it up. Don't touch the gas until at least 5 minutes in the morning. Let it warm up for at least 5 minutes and make sure you see the oil temperature gauge moving up. And then you start driving, but don't beat on the car when it's cold. That's how you mess up your rod bearings. So that being said, we check the car, we see that the oil pan is leaking. We're gonna be doing the rod bearings anyways, so we'll take care of that leak and the rod bearings at the same time. And then you keep moving backwards, right? You go towards the back of the car, you check your swivel, which in this case, as you guys can see, there's a crack right there. I hope you guys can see on the video. It's cracked. So we replaced that. That could, potentially cause a lot of damage if it goes bad. And you check your diff. Very notorious to leak on the differential as well. This one is leaking on the input shaft and the output shafts. Another thing the customer do want to get done is subframe reinforcement. So you have to bundle up, you have to bundle things up. Like for example, differential is leaking, right? So the subframe is going to come down in order for us to get the subframe reinforcement done. So you want to approach those things and get it done while you have it down, so you don't pay for 3 different labors at 3 different times. Get it done once and save money on the long run. As well as the shock absorbers. As you guys can see, they're leaking, they're blown out. So we're going to be getting that done as well. Rear brakes are low. So everything that we can get done with the subframe down to save money and save labor, we will. Another thing that you guys do want to check when you buy your E46 M3 is the subframe reinforcement. If it was done, if it was not done, if it's cracked, if it's not. Even if it's not cracked, get it done. You don't want it to be cracked to get the repairs done. Make sure you get it done before it's actually cracked. If it's cracked, no big deal, get it done either way. But if it's not done, make sure you guys get this done, especially on the convertible cars. This is very critical. Luckily, there's no cracks on this one visually right now, but most of the times when you pull the subframe down and you get all that coating in order to weld the plates in, once you clean all that out, that's when you see the cracks. It's really hard to see as is right now because of the coating. But yeah, that's basically it. That's basically what you check on this cars. Now let's bring it down and show you guys the engine bay real quick. But overall, guys, this is a very, very clean car. Super clean car. 80,000 miles. It's really nice to see a car that's this clean. It's very rare to see the E46s clean like that. Since I'm seeing this right now as I open the hood, if you guys are OCD like me, you could get this part. It's not too expensive. Just get a brand new one at the dealer if you see it's cracked like that, so water doesn't get inside the car. But this one is not that bad. You could probably rock for another few years. So another big thing with the E46 is, you guys probably know, it's the Vanos rebuild. But again, this car only has 80,000 miles, so I doubt there's any problems here. But it's one of those things that you don't want to wait until there's a problem for you to replace. You want to replace right away to prevent the problem from happening. So eventually we're going to rebuild this Vanos unit for him. We're going to do a valve adjustment because this car has valve shims and it has to be adjusted every 30 to 40,000 miles. Very clean car. Then another thing that we check the fan clutch, see if it's good. We take a look at the belts. We check for leaks, which this car passed. Besides the oil pan is not leaking. And then you want to check your fluids, right? You check your power steering down there. You check your SMG. This car's SMG. Sometimes I do like to replace the SMG fluid to extend the life of the pump. They usually a problem and they fail with a certain mileage and time. So replacing that fluid is a good idea to keep it going a little bit longer. And then all the filters. Check all your filters. This car doesn't really have much to check. No lights on. So now let me show you guys the exciting part, which is the bill. Just for those little things that we're supposed to do, which is rod bearings, the rear subframe reinforcement, all the leaks on the rear, shocks, brakes, and little bushings that we found here, and whatever else. So I'm gonna bring you guys to my computer and show you guys how much this would come out to. Alright guys, so we use air to look up all the parts. We checked all the parts, and again, you see here fuel filter. That's one thing that, you know, preventative maintenance that we throw on there as well. We checked all the parts, and this gives me labor as well. Tells me how long it takes to get each job done. It's a BMW tool. I pay yearly for BMW to give me access to this. Alright guys, so here, fuel filter, labor would be $75. The part is $65.99. Then we got the Gwibble that I showed you guys, which is the flex disc on the drive shaft. It is 3.5 hours to replace that part, which drive shaft has to be removed, and exhaust and all that. Again, got those prices and labor times from Air, which is a BMW tool. They designed the car, they know how long it takes for everything, so they tell me the price and I just plug the price in here. The Gwibble replacement parts and labor would be $691. That's with tax. AC recharge, car set for a minute and it's not blowing cold air as it was before, so it's $160 plus tax, comes out to $175.40. And then the diag and pre-purchase inspection, which we charge $150. Then we got the big stuff, which is the rear E46 M3 subframe reinforcement. Now on this repair I added 2 hours for labor for doing, which is not included on the job, is my hands are dirty, which is not included on the job. Differential, shocks, brakes, and all the little stuff. So I put an extra 2 hours just to take care of that stuff since we're gonna have the subframe down already. And then I added the parts as well. I added rotors, pads, brake pad sensor, the input shaft seal for the differential, output shaft seals, shocks and hardware, the reinforcement plates, and the bushings as well for the subframe. So that repair is $3,297. Then we got the rod bearings, which is another big repair, but again, as you guys can see here, I added the steering rack. We're gonna be doing a used one, which is $250 shipped. Throw star and bushings, which are the little ones that I showed you guys earlier underneath the car. ARP bolts for the rods, ACL standard rod bearings, oil pan gasket, oil pickup filter gasket, oil filter, and red line oil. I like to use 15W50 on this car, really good oil, and that job comes out to $2,800, $2,812, and $24. Then we do a coolant flush, which is 1 hour to drain and refuel and bleed the system. And then to finish up, we have brake fluid flush. So $17 for the bottle, 1 hour to bleed all the brakes and clean everything out. So $178. So all those repairs that I showed you guys and I mentioned, everything comes out to $7,662. Yeah, so not cheap, unfortunately, but that's what's gonna keep your car running good without problems, without any major issues in the future, being, blowing a differential because of the leak and not enough fluid in the diff and a bunch of other things. Those things could lead to bigger repairs. So definitely try to approach and get it done. If you like the car, obviously it's a 2004, but people are paying big money for those cars. They're worth a lot of money now, and they are good, great cars, and it's one of the best cars I've ever driven and have. I have one myself. It's a full blow and drift car, but I love the car. It's just E46 M3 is just such an amazing car. But yeah, if you guys wondering how much it costs to do a little maintenance and keep it up and do those big threes and that everybody mentioned, I didn't put the price here for the Vanos rebuild and valve adjustment, but you're looking at around, I think, $2,800 parts and labor all in for the Vanos repair. So yeah, you're looking at about, if you want to do all the big threes, and obviously you get a car that's used, you are going to find little things like that. There are going to be small things that you have to do, and you could put 10 grand to the side if you want, a car nice and clean. But if you just want to rock it, you rock it. Not everybody are the same. I can't do it personally. I need to have everything nice and clean. I know I have peace of mind that I've done it and the car is Gucci. So this repair will be we're looking at around $7,500 to do those things that I showed you guys. All right, so I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.